Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, Just True. Today I'd like to speak about a video that I came across from a fellow YouTuber, let me call him. He's much more than that, called Won Odidi. Won Odidi is based in Kisumu and his videos primarily focused on that side of the country. And I'm going to continue with the clip from his video, and then we'll speak on what the point of today's video is, which is a rural library.
Well, we are all bound to lose our parents at some point. We are all heading the same direction, but it's typical that parents go before their kids, but in some cases, it's exactly the reverse that happens. Now, this doesn't really depend on how wealthy a person is, how prayerful you are, or how careful you are. At some point, your parents are going to go. And like I said, in many cases, they exit before we do. But what do you do with these beautiful haciendas, these beautiful homes that our parents leave behind? Ideas as to what you can do out there are plenty. Many folks preserve the homes as is, maintain, and they have people living in there. Others demolish and build something else. A few others refurbish, and there's all kinds of things we can do with these beautiful homes that our parents leave behind. So in this video, I want to show you one of the most incredible and creative projects that my sisters in Karateng have been running from their old folks' home. Now, their parents are long gone, and the ladies are changing thousands of lives and keeping the memories of their parents alive using this project.
That is what I want to speak about in Kisumu, in Karateng, Kisumu. And one of the ladies he's speaking of is me. That property belonged to my father and my mother, who unfortunately passed away, did not have the luxury of staying in that property while they were alive at any point. And once they passed away, it was left to us as his children to decide what are we going to do with it. Now, based on the history of the property, there was a lot of conflict around that property, but that's not the purpose of this video. We chose not to focus on the conflict and to focus on the fact we can do something more with it. The idea came from my older sister, who thought, why don't we convert it into a community library? At the time of their passing, we knew that out of all of us, nobody is going to stay there at the moment or even permanently at the time. And the house was falling into a state of disrepair. And a lot of resources, of course, had been put into it, and it should just have been wasteful to let it fall into disrepair because it wouldn't make sense. You have to use things that have already been built. And it was a standing structure. So we chose to convert it into a community library to support the community, the children in the community, adults in the community, to have a space where they could read and they could learn and they could just be without the pressures of responsibilities in the community or the responsibilities of life. As you know, or as you may not know, depending on where you're from, many children in the rural areas lack spaces where they can just be children, because after school, once they go home, they will have to do so many tasks, so many chores, and this can range from collecting water to picking up firewood. But with the opportunity, the availability of a library, they can at least pass by after school and read and focus on their studies, just relax, because a child can relax and then go home and perform whatever duties and responsibilities that they may have. And this library has been standing for very many years and has gone through many things, good and bad, but it's still standing and it still remains open and will remain open until the day it closes. Whenever that will be, we don't know. I don't know. But as of now, it has supported the community and many children have passed by there. And from this space, we also have children who have graduated from high school and gone to university, and it has been a pleasure to see them be more than they could have been if the space was not available, based on their family background, based on, you know, whether they have parents or not, based on whether their parents have resources or not. And it has grown from strength to strength. We even have greenhouses now, and we're working on ways to develop them even further and see how that can bring back more to support the library, to support the community. These are things we did not think about. It just has been building as the years go by. And the point of this video was to say that it's important not to hold to things too tightly, because when my parents had passed away, we had the opportunity to say, this is our property and we are going to have it by any means necessary. But that wouldn't have made sense because none of us were based there at the time, and really none of us at that point wanted to be there based on the history of the property and the background and everything that had been going on around it. But we chose to focus outside of ourselves, which I think is a very important thing to do as human beings. Not be too focused on yourself. Don't be too tied to things, because when you're tied to things and you're tied to outcomes, the likelihood of it happen as you're envisioning is not very high. From what I've seen, it's not very high. So don't hold on tightly to things. Trust that things are going to work out for the benefit of, for a greater good. Let me say, for a greater good. Things will work out for a greater good. And in this case, it has worked out for the greater good of the community, for the children, for the adults who live there, for the people who find space and solace there, and even for us, because we see the progress that has happened in the property, and we are glad that the property is being utilized, and it did not fall into disrepair. And we have gotten a lot of support for the property and for the library from so many well-wishers, and so many people have been so supportive of it. And it would never have come to that if we had just said, you know, our parents are dead, we're not living here, let it die as well. That wouldn't have been too wise. And be resourceful. It wasn't complete when we got it, but now it has been built up and it is what it is. And there's a clip of Won Odidi playing with some of the children, and those are some of the things that we wanted the space to offer. So there's power in letting go. There's power in not insisting on things being as tradition says that they should be. And really, that was the point of this video. That was it. And I'm so grateful to Won Odidi for featuring it. And please go to his page if you're interested in learning about Kisumu and what's happening in Kisumu, because there's a lot happening in Kisumu and Western Nyanza, in Nyanza as well. So that's this video, and goodbye till next time.